Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Mojo, and today we're gonna do something a little differently. Usually I do the pick a card readings. I enjoy those, but I'm gonna try to step out of my box here and do a very targeted but general reading. This is an anxiety vibe check. Specifically what's haunting you and how to deal with your fear and anxiety that you may be feeling right now. If you're tuning in, if you're digging the sound of my voice, if you're feeling the vibe that I'm putting down, then this reading is definitely for you. Keep in mind, this is a general reading, so not everything is going to apply to you, and that's totally fine. Take what you need, leave the rest. If you want to marinate for a minute, that's fine, and decide if this is something that you want to rock with. That's cool. I appreciate you. And when it's all over, don't forget to leave me some comments below and let me know what you thought about this. So again, this is an anxiety vibe check. In this reading, we'll be pulling several cards that address your fears and anxiety that you may be feeling right now. I will be shuffling online in the video so you can see that I'm not just making this shit up. And without further ado, let's get into it. I am going to be using my Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. It's really cool looking card imagery. Oh, I almost forgot. My Florida water, I got this locally. It's called Wicked Good. Florida water, that focus is terrible. Costs about $15. Cleansing the energy of the area, the cards, myself. Thank you, universe, ancestors, spirit guides, for these who have come for this message. Let the words come through clearly, loudly, and plainly. We are here today to dig into this anxiety. I'm personally feeling it. Like, ooh, God, I am feeling it. So if you're into this reading, maybe you are somebody who just suffers from anxiety on a regular basis already and you're experiencing a flare up, or you are on the precipice of something and you're having anxiety about your next steps, which is definitely the category I fall into. I find that the older I get, the more noticeable just anxiety attacks in general have become. Let's see. Yeah, right off the bat I can tell, we are needing balance. Ooh, okay, right. You may be carrying a lot of old thoughts around, old fears that are basically giving you the heebie-jeebies. The shit is wigging you out. It's freaking you out. And what you really need is a change of mind, a newness of mind. How will I say, a renewal of mind, so that you can get out of this stagnant emotional state where you feel like you can't choose or you don't want to choose. The universe is essentially offering you a gift. And with this renewed mind comes, renewed opportunities to do the thing that you are trying to do, to manifest that idea, maybe. Yeah, especially as you juggle all your current responsibilities. Maybe there's fear about that. Planning, are you going to take the right steps? etc., etc. Mind you, I'm just reading the shuffle. Haven't actually started pulling the cards yet. I will leave a timestamp in the description below for when I get started with that. The good news is you're actually not in a bad position at all. You are in a very advantageous spot. You have the high ground, and it's not as bad as you think. There's even opportunity for you to take rest, to take a break from time to time, instead of thinking that you have to constantly be going. That's another thing that drives us nuts. It's because we feel like we can't take the time that we need, and so you feel pressured to just make decisions when you're really not sure. Okay, let's see. First card is what follows you and how to leave it behind. What troubles you and how to resolve that trouble. I want to make sure you are on the camera. What keeps you up at night? And how to rest easier. What frightens you? And how to face it. Okay. Ooh. And the bottom of the deck is the Six of Cups. So that tells me the underlying issue here, for those of you who are tuned in for this anxiety vibe check, the underlying issue seems to be rooted in something to do with your childhood. It's a emotional memory, perhaps has to do with a sibling, or again just your childhood home, things that are rooted very deeply within you. So I feel like this is probably something that may have plagued you for a while, for a good long while. I think you're coming up, a lot of you are coming up against something that has been an established outlook and perspective, that you probably inherited, or something that happened to you during these formative years that really stuck with you. Dang it, I keep turning off that light. That really stuck with you, and to the point that it's affecting where you are now. You're trying to, I don't know, maybe it looks like you have an idea or a goal. Maybe it's to do with your career. Maybe you're creating something, and these old, deeply rooted fears are creeping back in. Yeah, I know how that is. Okay, so let's get into these cards. I'm just gonna move these. Okay, so the first card is what is following you. Queen of Cups reversed, and how to leave it behind. It is the Devil in reversed. Okay, so being at the bottom of the deck is the Six of Cups, and it's what's following you is the Queen of Cups. This is probably something that your mother said to you, or what, and I know a quote that says it's not, we don't always remember what people say, but we remember how they made us feel. We don't always remember the words that come out of a person's mouth, but we remember how those words made us feel. Maybe your mother said something to you and it stuck with you to this day. Maybe she's still saying it to you. You might have one of those types of mothers who is just toxic, and I'm sorry about that. I definitely know how that is. It's hard. It's hard to have a toxic parent because no matter how old we get, I think we'll always need who we wanted them to be. The thing is, and this isn't excusing their shitty behavior, this isn't excusing their bad behavior, but they are people. They are imperfect. They were raised by imperfect people. Obviously, they should have stepped their game up and been better. But it is what it is what they say. Can you really cry over spilled milk? Sure you can, but should you keep crying over it? No. You've got to. You are at a decision point where you have to decide if you're going to allow this to continue to have power over you and poison everything that you're trying to do, or are you gonna, as they say, pick up your bag and move forward? Are you gonna acknowledge the feeling and then give yourself grace and freedom to move through it or around it? It says how to leave it behind, how to leave this toxic negative thought or even this enduring toxic person behind is the devil. I don't know, the idea of tough love is what is coming to me. I feel like, because this is 15, right, is the number of this card. 1 plus 5 is 6, and so we end up with the Lovers 2, which is the same numerical energetic signature. And so, obviously this card is kind of the opposite depiction of that. These two are kind of bound by their connection to each other into this situation here, whatever this is. And I don't know, for some reason the words tough love are coming up. Maybe you are going to have to put your foot down and establish your boundaries with this person, no matter how much of a fight they put up. If they're like an energetic vampire type of person where they just constantly feed you bullshit and then they harvest off the negativity as you react to it, when you establish your boundaries, this person is going to cut the fuck up. Like that. They're not gonna like it. An energy vampire never likes it when their supply dries up. So again, you have to be tough and say no more. You have to establish that boundary and break those chains, because as long as you make yourself available to this energetically toxic person, you will always be kind of bound by that. Same energy for the people who are not currently dealing with the toxic parent, maternal figure perhaps, but something that happened in childhood that is resonating with you, vibrating throughout your thought processes to this day. Same process. You have to break those chains. You have to understand that number one, it's not still happening, even though it may feel like it. The effects of feeling it are definitely still happening, because obviously you wouldn't be here getting this reading if you weren't feeling some type of way about this thing that happened in your childhood. You wouldn't be here feeling some type of way if this wasn't the case. So I'm not ever going to tell you just to get over it. That is just like a poorly fitting band-aid for a multitude of issues. But what I will say is learning to just let things be. Like when we feel negativity, when we feel like awful, I know personally my initial response is to push against it, to back away from it, to try to keep it off of me. But in doing that, it's almost like it only makes it even more intense. Sometimes, as uncomfortable as it is, you have to sit with those uncomfortable feelings and just let them be. As you do that, you'll find what surfaces a lot of times is you getting to the bottom of, or understanding what roots those feelings have. Once you can identify that and the thoughts and perhaps even the events or actions that solidified those things in your mind, then you can begin to deal with untethering yourself from that. Because ultimately, being tied to it is what's holding you back. So, how do you leave it behind? You break the chain, you break the cycle. Maybe this is playing out in your own family as a parent. You break the cycle and decide what goes on and what doesn't go on. Okay. What is troubling you and how to resolve it? 6 of Swords. Would I say this is reverse? Yeah, I would say that's reverse. And how to okay, that's not bad. That's an upright sun. I'll take that. What is troubling you and how to resolve it? You need to be free. You need freedom. Look at this. You got a whole 6 of Swords right here. Your subconscious right now is telling you to get the fuck out of there. You are over here in misery because of something that happened to you a long time ago, and you're being shown how to free yourself from this. There's a song by Paul Simon that I love. It's called 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. He says, just get on the bus, Gus. We don't need to discuss much. Just get yourself free. Like, just get on the boat, man. You be, or women, or person, or them, lady, whatever your pronouns are, get on the goddamn boat. You're being given a green light here. You're being shown that there is a way to release yourself from this. You're being shown that once you do break those old cycles, once you do rid yourself. Oh, and here we are with the 6 energy again. So really, this is about this is about reconciling with yourself. You've believed some shit about yourself this whole time that isn't true. Because the Lovers, we think of a relationship, but that is also on a major arcana scale. That is the union of the selves. You have the masculine side and you have the feminine side, and everyone is comprised of both of those sides. I don't care how masculine you feel you are, you still have a feminine side. I don't care how feminine you think you are, you still have a masculine side. And so when we see the Lovers, when we see the 6 energy, it is about a reconciliation. It is about a joining of those two halves. So you have this as the underlying issue, right? Then you have this as the way out, how to leave what's following you, okay, from your childhood, how to leave that behind by breaking the cycle. Bam. And then we have it here as what is troubling you, this freedom, this mental break that has happened because of this old dead shit that you have believed. And how do you resolve it? You open the windows, you open the doors, you let the light in. Stop sitting around in the dark, you know what I'm saying, carrying this shit that somebody else gave you. That ain't even your shit. Put that shit down. Like, for real. What are we doing? What are we doing here? You need to get on the bus. You need to get in the boat. Start the boat up and get the hell out of there. How do you resolve it? Shine the light. Have joy. Where do you find joy? Where do you find freedom? Where do you find peace and happiness? Go to that, because that is where you meet yourself again, and allow yourself this freedom. This little naked kid sitting up here on this horse. Maybe it's a Pegasus, I can't tell. But you know what I'm saying, little naked kid, he or she, whatever, not even tripping. They just out there in the full sun, like, bam, I'm here, baby. Like, they are not worried, and you shouldn't be either. Okay. What else? What else? What keeps you up at night? And how to rest easier. 8 of Cups. And how to rest easier. Another 6. Look at that. Yeah, so this is definitely some reconciliation needing to happen here. I feel like this may involve a soul retrieval or a soul fragment retrieval, because when you go through traumatic situations that are extremely traumatic, to the point that the things that happened and what you thought about what happened follows you all the way through the rest of your life, till you get to a point where you just like, I can't take it, I don't know what to do anymore. Yeah, we're talking about trauma. And this 6 energy keeps popping up. So that tells me, I feel like that is saying a reconciliation is needed. You need to deal with who you really are versus who you've been told you are, or who you've been told you are supposed to be. You watching this, listening to this, you may be dealing with the difference between who you actually are versus who you can't be. Society or a parent, maybe an organization, a religion, I don't know. We get this shit from all kinds of places. Has told you that you're supposed to be this or that. And then you look at yourself and know that you are neither. Or whatever. You're not whatever the fuck they talking about. And so now you feel some type of way. You got some type of complex. As they would say in my hood, you got a complex about it now. And you won't let yourself be. You can't let yourself be. You can't let yourself enjoy the shit because you think you're wrong. You think it's something wrong with you. It is not. It's not. Okay, so what's keeping you up at night is the 8 of Cups. Both of these are reversed, by the way. So I feel like, ooh, see? Look. Cups. That's the underlying issue. And here's what's following you. Another cup. So this is an emotional situation for you. This is something you're going to have to walk away from. This is bothering you. Maybe this person is still actively in your life, being a fucking bastard, being toxic, and you need to walk away. Like this person is draped in this red cape. I associate red with the root chakra. So we're dealing with security. For your own emotional security, you need to walk away. But making that decision, even if it's not somebody that's currently in your life, and you're just dealing with the remnants of the aftermath of this emotional thing that was said or done to you, you still need to make the decision to walk away from it. Maybe you are afraid of what. I listened to this meditation by Eckhart Tolle. I don't know if I ever say that man's name right. Tolle, Tolle. I believe it's called The Power of Now. And in the meditation, which is about 4 parts, it might be a talk / meditation on Spotify. If I remember, I will link it in the description below. But in it, he talks about how sometimes it is hard for us to leave behind, these stories that we tell ourselves or about what happened, because we don't know how to face who we will be in their absence. Now that you see that it's all bullshit, and maybe you've seen that, maybe you've known that for a long time, but you just didn't know how you would leave it behind. Now that you've seen that it is all a fucking sham, you have to, you now have and this isn't a have to, such as a demand. This is actually an opportunity for you to rewrite your story. You don't have to keep this bullshit story anymore. You have the power and the authority, moreover, to rewrite your own shit. That can be terrifying. Because what? What do you mean rewrite it? You mean what? Like what? The sky's the limit. The sky is just the bottom. It's not even the limit. It is just the bottom. When you find out that you have immense creative control, you have the director's chair, you're the producer, you get to decide if you stay or if you go. You know what I mean? That can be kind of scary, and so sometimes maybe you don't want to, but that's what's keeping you up at night. How to, what's the other category? How to rest easier. Ooh, okay. Maybe I feel like this could possibly be seeking therapy, as in getting help from somebody else or taking counsel. Maybe this has to do with reconciling. I don't know. I feel like for some of you, this has to do with a creative thing. Like maybe your maternal figure, saw you being creative and silly and fun one day, and they told you that was dumb or was stupid, or you like made something for somebody and they just shit on it, or they didn't acknowledge it. Or they just flat out stopped you from doing the creative thing for whatever reason. And so that kind of, choked that out of you. I feel like the rest easier part maybe is going to come with you reconciling with that thing, with that act, whether that was acting or drawing, singing, dancing, sewing, whatever it was. Maybe a way out for you is to reconnect with that, and find the solace that you've been missing this whole time. Because if it wasn't in you already to do, why were you doing it then? It's obviously something that you enjoyed greatly. Maybe this could be, I don't know, volunteer work. Something to, I'm not gonna say distract you, but something to keep you occupied while you go through this trying situation, while you deal with this. Maybe if you've been turning this thing over and over in your mind, maybe this is something that you can do to alleviate yourself of that constant nagging, worryful thought. I do see the scales here, so I feel like it's something to do with finding balance. Maybe as a result of you being bothered by this decision to walk away, you've kind of, I don't know, maybe you've been spending a little crazy, trying to make yourself feel better by buying a bunch of shit, which is nothing wrong with treating yourself, but don't go overboard before you end up in the poorhouse actually needing that help. I'm only keying into that for some of you because, again, of the scales. Like, maybe you need to find some balance there. Again, volunteer work, perhaps reaching out to those who have been where you are, or maybe even looking to those who have survived what you're going through, as a source of help and balance there. Okay, and the last one is what frightens you and how to face it. The Queen of Swords. Ooh. And how to face it. More cups, more swords. Like, damn. Okay. So, the Queen of Cups, I'm sorry, Queen of Swords. Okay, so this is either a person that's outside of you, or this is an aspect of yourself. I feel like with this last particular card, the one about the decision needing to be walked away from, maybe this is an aspect of yourself that you are afraid of. You think that you can't be this logical thinking person, that you can't somehow have this power over your own thoughts, your own actions, taking swift, decisive action to do the things that you need to do. On the flip side, for some of you, this could actually be a person, which, as a reversed Queen of Swords, this bitch is scary. Like, she is not. Her decisions are emotional, because she's a woman. She's feminine, so she's tapped into that, whether she acknowledges it or not. But her words can be very sharp and stinging. They can be very cutting. They can be seeming very devoid, very detached from feeling. Maybe she doesn't care. And yeah, that shit can be pretty scary. Okay, but whichever position it is for you, whether it's you or somebody else you know, the combat to this is love. This is the Two of Cups. So, in a very mundane and tangible sense, maybe you are in a relationship with somebody. I think this person could be a support for you. You can talk. You should be. If you're in a relationship, you should be able to talk it over with them, and get insight, understanding, support, aid. This person would be here as a support for you, someone that you can lean on. And it's not necessarily a romantic relationship, but it is an emotional connection that you two share. This is a bond. Perhaps another mother figure has stepped in for you, as provided by the universe. It could be that. This is the High Priestess energy. So really, this could also be about tapping into yourself. How do you deal with the fear? You face it. For those of you that this is an aspect of yourself, and even for those of you who this is another person, coming to understand yourself on a deep inner level will help you to find the resources, the power, the strength, the emotional fortitude that you need to communicate what it is that you need to, so that you can get what you need and no longer be bound by this fear. Okay. And so what we're going to do now is pull some other cards for some assistance with this anxiety issue here. I will be using 2 or 3 more decks right now. This is the Daily Crystal Inspiration. So we're going to pull out a crystal message for you here based on all of this, and see what we've got going on. Crystal friends, what's the message for those who are watching this? Anybody want to jump out and say what up before I just pick a card? Okay. Nope. We're gonna cut and we're gonna pull. Bam. And let's see. Gonna also go with the Work Your Light and see what messages this deck has for you also in response to the anxiety and the fear. It's either going to be a statement or a question. Yep, I think I'm going to use the third deck too. Okay. I almost had a jumper. I think my shuffling is too neat. Sometimes I don't get those at all. Sometimes they just fly out. Alright, I'm gonna pick 2. And lastly, the super attractors. What message, insight, and encouragement to give to my lovely friends watching today? Insight for me too, shit. Cause I definitely be having the anxiety right about now. Okay. Opportunity for a jump out. And then I want to pull. Alright. Let's see. Okay. See? Look at this. Carnelian. It says feed your creativity. I mean, hey, you can't get much more plainer than that. That goes back to the whole 6 of Pentacles, maybe reconciling with that thing I said, whatever that was. You need to feed that. I'm gonna see what the little book has to say about it. I also know carnelian as like a stone of personal responsibility, so maybe this has to do with you really taking care of yourself. It's not self-care for you to deny yourself this outlet. It's not self-care for you to continue to walk around with that bullshit baggage. But it says your creative side is calling to you. Rather than waiting for inspiration to strike, be your own creative muse. Choose an activity that taps into your imagination. Allow yourself to get messy and create freely. Silence your inner critic and let go of any expectations about what this process should look like. It's not about making a perfect masterpiece. It's about exploring your personal journey and letting your imagination run free. Core questions to ask yourself now. What sparks your creative side? Is there anything holding you back from letting your creativity run wild? What do you want to create? The affirmation for this card is, I am imaginative and create freely. Today, you should start one new project or restart one that you have abandoned. Sounds pretty spot on there for this reading. Okay. Let's see what the other two cards are. He said, look at that, look at that, look at that. It says, share your voice, come out of the cave, persecution, expression. So again, you need to be expressing yourself. You need to be freeing yourself from this bullshit so that you can get in a place where you can share your voice. Because apparently you're on a mission. The things that you are sharing, the things that you will create, the things that you will make will not only affect you but others. You possibly are somebody that is clairvoyant or clairaudient, and the way in which you receive and process this information comes out through your artwork or your writing or whatever the thing is. I don't know, maybe you are an actor or a dancer. Whatever creative act it is something that others will see and have a response to. This is overall contributing to the upliftment and evolution of humanity. So wow, no pressure. No pressure whatsoever. But it's not just for you. This isn't just about you. Okay, and the last message, the super attractor. It says, manifest. God dang on it, look at this. Y'all saw me. Y'all saw me shuffle. Okay, you didn't actually see the shuffle, but you heard it. And then you saw me lay these cards out. I didn't pick these. The card says, manifesting is the creative process of aligning with the energy of the universe to co-create an experience that elevates my spirit and the spirit of the world. Didn't we just got dang on say that this is a double mission? Your creativity is going to spawn a revolution, and don't look for that to be it's not necessarily going to be a big thing. You can have a revolution of the heart. I cannot tell you how many people I have been inspired by that don't even know. Just me just observing them being in their alignment, in whatever the hell it is they were supposed to be doing. They did it, and I saw it, and I was inspired. So now I am here doing what I am supposed to be doing, and now I'm inspiring you. And then this gift, this gift just keeps on giving, keeps on giving. I'm gonna check out the book for these. The first one was Share Your Voice, 76. That's an action card. You are being called to share your voice, perhaps by speaking up in a relationship or through writing, speaking, singing, or some other form of creative expression. We each hold a truth deep within us that longs to be expressed. Sculpted for lifetimes, the voice of your soul is like no other. It carries with it wisdom that can only be gained through soul history and growth. By remembering, tapping into, and expressing this unique tone, we not only heal ourselves, we also heal the planet at large. When you share your voice, you unlock something in the universe and call a missing piece of you home. Your individual voice is the most powerful sound current on the planet. If you have kept your soul's voice silenced or held back, chanting or singing could be truly life-changing for you. As we shed the layers of our personality and start letting our unique soul speak through us, we discover that we actually have a very clear message that longs to be shared. The more we speak it, the clearer it gets. There has never been a better time in history than right now to rise up, speak your truth, and share your soul's voice. If you do feel fearful, know that you are not alone and that the world needs your unique tone in order to harmonize. As we each rise up and share our song, we make it easier for the next person to do the same. Mmm. 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 I'm just saying. I mean, transmission. This is a transmission card. Okay, what is that? Yeah, this is like information, is what that means to me. The Pleiadians are a group of star beings dedicated to raising the vibration of the planet and sharing new consciousness through creations and technology. They have been incarnating on Earth since near the beginning of humanity. You are a soul who has a double mission: to grow at soul level, okay, and to raise the vibration of the planet. Hello, here we go again. If you have been called to write, speak, or channel, this is your sign to keep doing it. Your work is divinely guided. Of all the souls, Pleiadians are the chattiest, and so perhaps you have already started channeling some of this work into the third dimension. Thank you for doing your part in this plan. Your presence and unique light is needed. Okay, so this, not only is this just a cool looking card, this may be speaking to some of you who are actual star seeds. You have extraterrestrial origins that go beyond the human understanding of time and living, and so you very well may be on a mission here to do the thing. Yeah, I mean, can't get much more plainer than that. I mean, I'm not even gonna drag it out anymore. What else is it to say? What else is it to say? This has been your anxiety vibe check with your homegirl Mojo. Thank you for tuning in with me. I really appreciate your presence. I hope that you got something out of this. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you want to, please go ahead and subscribe. I would love to hear your response, your thoughts, your feelings about this anxiety vibe check in the comments below. This is your girl Mojo signing out.